Alright, so you finished marking for your binding and purfling if you're using an extra purfling strip or something. Now it's time to begin removing material um, so that you can install that binding. And I'm going to show you my method for doing that. Um, there's a couple of things here. You have to be very careful not to go past your line, and you want to keep it square on both sides. So going with the grain is essential. It doesn't matter where you start. I would recommend doing one side of the guitar and then the other, working your way all the way around. I'm going to put the chisel bevel up, working with the grain. I'm going to go along my guitar, and I'm going to very carefully remove a little material at a time to work my way down to my line that I've scribed here. Remember, my line is not very far, it's just the width of the binding, so I have to go the depth and the width. Now my scribe line was not that far off of what I had. It's just a little bit shy, right? So if you accidentally go a little deep, it's okay, but don't. Make sure your chisel is good and sharp. It's likely you're going to get some tear out around these corners, so go slow, be careful, make sure your tools are good and sharp, like I said. And that's the method. I'm going to come in a little close so you can see what I'm doing here. This is the area that I'm working. See, I've got my line, I'm coming in low, and I'm coming in to this line right here. And I'm just going to work my way around very carefully with my chisel. I'm going to bring this all the way down to here, to my line around the edge. And once I've done that, then I'll begin working with a chisel or with a file to try to make sure that it's good and smooth for my gluing. Should mention, you don't want your guitar moving during this process. You want to be able to hold the work as best you can to your bench. Make sure you're padding underneath with something. I've got my Solara with its soft top on it, and then I'm holding the neck in a vise with some pieces of scrap, just to make sure that the guitar isn't moving while I'm trying to do this operation. So this is going to take me a good while to go all the way around with the chisel. You know, right now I'm going this way with the grain. I'll come back around, I'll come this way with the grain. And, so I'm gonna let it go right now. I'm gonna get a little farther along and then we'll check back in. Okay, little update check-in here. Alright, so around from about here over to here, you can kind of see that I've gotten pretty much where I want to be. I don't want to go any farther because you see my line has disappeared along the edge, this little line that I have. I do have a knot right there, so it made this part a little bit more difficult. When I get the file out, that'll help smooth that part out. This from here to here I have not worked yet because the grain's going this way and it's more difficult for me to go that direction. I did work this part from here to here. I can adjust my camera here. Here to here. And now I've got where I'm starting to reverse grain, so when I work this section down, I'll begin doing that portion. I probably will flip the guitar around before I do this area and this area, just to be, because it makes it easier if I can turn around. So I'm chiseling this way. If I can flip the guitar around, then I can continue chiseling that direction. Makes it easier. So I've got a little bit here that I'm going to finish at the butt end before I flip the guitar around to do that. And I wanted to also show y'all, this is a cheap, easy way to make sure you don't get anything into the inside of the guitar while you're working on this, because you're going to have little chips and things going everywhere. And just grabbing a cheap small sponge that you can just stick in the sound hole. Easy to remove. Nothing goes in, nothing goes out. So. Okay, I want to show y'all something real quick here. So in this area of my guitar, so I'm looking at the bottom side of my lower bout here, the grain direction on my top, I need to come this direction in order to not tear it out, okay? Because up here, you know, the grains are running parallel here, but if I come this direction, then I'm going to rip out parts of my top. So I have to come this way. Well, if you look at the side here, on the side, I have to go this direction, because if I go this way, I tear out, I rip out, and this is even with the chisel, a very sharp chisel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully remove just the portion of the top I need with the chisel going this direction. And then I will come back and work with the chisel going this direction on this portion of the side to bring it down to my line. So you may run into something similar as you come around your guitar as well, because you don't know, for example, if you've got grain going one way or another, or if there's a little bit of a slant to the grain, and this is a prime example of that. So keep that in mind.